Well, hello and welcome back to the channel. Today finds me on another ship. This time it's Cunard Queen Mary 2, which many of you know, of course, is the last ocean liner in the world. It's not a cruise ship, it's an ocean liner. I'm not crossing the ocean today. I will be in a couple of days' time, and that'll be a subject for a whole other video, transatlantic on the Queen Mary 2. But today we are docked in Newport in Rhode Island. When I say docked, I mean that very, very loosely, because we're anchored offshore. I'm going shortly to get into the ship's tenders to head across into Newport, Rhode Island, and I'm bringing you with me. I've been here before. There's a number of things that I want to show you, and I'm going to do something a wee bit different today. Am I going to head round Newport, Rhode Island on my feet? That remains to be seen. So anyway, if you fancy seeing Newport, Rhode Island, if that's something you want to watch, keep watching. Well, hello and welcome ashore here now in Newport, Rhode Island. It's actually called Aquidneck Island. Maybe that's originally. Check the facts, because as you know, some of the facts that I give you will not be true. Not be true. They are to the best of my knowledge. But anyway, let's go with Newport in Rhode Island. There's a population of around 25,000 people. And it's about 70 miles south of Boston, just to give you an idea where it is if you want to look at the map. It's a seaside town, a seaside city, famous for a number of reasons. It is the place where the first ever US Golf Championship was played. It's the place where the first ever US Tennis Open was played. And in fact, that tennis court and the club is still here, and maybe we'll get there before the end of this particular video. There's loads of mansions here, big, big mansions on their very own Ocean Drive. And the funny thing about them was, if you built a big mansion and the person beside you then built a big mansion, you knocked yours down and built bigger. So there's fabulous mansions that we'll go and take a look at. It is where Dwight Eisenhower and J.F. Kennedy summered. So they were known to have the summer White Houses here in Newport. This is also the place where J.F. Kennedy and Jackie Onassis got married, and we'll go and visit that chapel. Now, those of you that follow me on Facebook, because this YouTube channel is fairly new, will know that I was here, well, it seems like yesterday, but it's actually over 4 years ago. It was pre-pandemic. And I hired a little buggy, a little three-wheel buggy. I don't know if you remember that. I do, it was green. And I went on a little tour. So today we'll go on a tour, but my intention is not to hire the little buggy, but hire something different. And talking of different, that Rolls Royce that you saw, somebody knows me, that Rolls Royce that you saw, I asked the guy that owned it, who was English actually, and it was 1926. He says an absolute handful to drive. But anyway, enough of that for now. Let's go and have fun and try and give you as few facts as possible so that the keyboard warriors don't go mad and say you don't know what you're talking about. Listen, it's entertainment, not education. Check the facts for yourself. Now, this might refresh your memory. It was one of these little three-wheelers that I hired. They also have these that are slingshots, Look at that. Fabulous. But this is what I'm going to hire. Yep. I'm going to hire a scooter. They're great guys to work with. I've worked with them before. So let's get the paperwork done and then we'll see what happens. Okay, so here we are on the scooter. Ready to go. First thing that I'm going to take you to is the Ocean Drive, where the mansions are. Let's go. So I'll just give you a little short, look at the helmets, like a wee pea on the top of my head. A little short introduction. In fact, there's the little buggies coming there. That's what I had the last time. So here is my little scooter. It's Chicago Scooter Company. Never heard tell of them. And I'll swing this round. Hold on. Hold on. They're a Chicago Scooter Company. It says Go Max, I think. Judging by the acceleration and the power out of it, it's 50cc. So definitely no more than 30, 35 miles an hour. But anyway, let's try and find Ocean Drive. Because at this moment, I'll be honest, I've took a wrong turn somewhere. Let's find Ocean Drive. Ocean Drive. I don't think I did say the law here regarding the crash helmets is I didn't have to wear one. It was entirely up to myself. The rider doesn't need a helmet. And if I'd had a passenger, the passenger would have had to have a helmet. But I just thought I'd wear a helmet anyway. Anyway, I'm going to flick this camera around and show you some of these mansions here on Ocean Drive. And you can judge for yourself what the rates and the electricity bill would be. And then I'll tell you a very interesting fact about some of them. That'll give you an idea of the type of house is here. Another one away down there. Huge houses. With views of the sea, of course. Now, a little fact about the mansions, especially of old, they had loads of reception rooms, ballrooms, all sorts of things. And upstairs, very, very few bedrooms. Because they reckoned if you were invited to this part of the world, if you wanted to go to sleep, you should have a cottage of your own somewhere. Come and stay with us in Rhode Island. And you arrive, yeah, but you're not sleeping here. Anyway, let's go for another spin. It's a great way to see this, the outskirts of Newport. And then when I return the scooter, I must keep an eye on the clock, I've hired it for an hour. When I return the scooter, then we'll walk about a bit as well. The reason, of course, it's called Ocean Drive becomes very apparent when you just pull in here where I've stopped, because there it is. That's the ocean. And up here is, there you go, the Portuguese monument. I have no idea what it is. Let's go and see. So the monument, it's here as a nod to the Portuguese sailors. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Well, I'll read it out, parts of it. So this monument or sculpture or dedication is 3 parts. This, the tower, which is in memory of the navigators, map makers, explorers, fleet commanders, and those others who enabled the discoveries of sea routes by the Portuguese of 2/3 of the world. Okay, you've got the gist why it's here. Then there are these thimbles. Now that's a thimble. I'm not saying symbol with a speech impediment. Thimbles. And then there is this sphere. Okay. The gift to the people of the United States of America from the Rhode Island General Assembly in conjunction with the National Committee of the commemorations of the discoveries of Portugal. Okay. We're not going to spend all the video giving you that sort of stuff, but just there's the sphere. The only remaining element that arises from the original monument installation. The cardinal points, or the thimbles, present an abstraction of vertical bollards found in Sagre, Portugal. And then the landmark, that's the tall part around which the rest are organized. Okay, so it honors the Portuguese navigators of the golden age of maritime exploration. That's it in a nutshell for you. Now back to the little grey, what do we call it? The little grey squirrel. There, I love it. We'll head back to the little grey squirrel. So, I'm going to jump on the little grey squirrel and continue around Ocean Drive. The little grey squirrel. Love it. Check the mirrors, of course. Okay. Ocean Drive. That was a lot of fun on the bike. Now, the year is 1953. I want you to imagine this. It's 1953. It's September the 12th. And there's a wedding about to take place here in Newport, Rhode Island, in St. Mary's Catholic Church. St. Mary's Catholic Church is the oldest Catholic church in Rhode Island, although the one that I'm going to show you is not the original, but this has been here a long time. This is the church that I'm referring to, 1953, and that date. The wedding is JFK, John F. Kennedy, and Jackie Onassis. So I'll swing this round and let you see the church. And if we can get inside it, we'll get inside it. But can you imagine the excitement that there would have been? This was huge. JFK marrying, I said Jackie Onassis. She wasn't Jackie Onassis at that time at all. And there it is. Now, if you see a lot of fancy cars, I've seen loads of fancy cars. This is just by the by. For instance, there's an old Beetle. On up the road, there's a Bonhams event taking place at the old tennis court, or where the first Open Tennis Championship in America was played. We'll head up there too. There's the church. I'll see if I can get inside. Can't promise. It's looking good with an open door. I'll not film in case I can't inside, if you know what I mean. We're okay to go. Jacqueline de Bouvier. Just amazing to think of that wedding, isn't it? Processing up there. Now we'll go a little further up to the high end of Newport. The ocean and the sea being down there, up to the high end. And some fabulous shops and all up here, as I recall. Now, across is the International Tennis Hall of Fame, because this is the tennis courts where the very first US Open Tennis Championship was held. I think I said that at the very top of the video. And you can see there is a car auction on, and concours too, which means that that's cars restored absolutely to their pristine condition. Bonham cars. I'm going to see if I can get in to show you the tennis courts. I don't think they're charging any money. Well, it's all slightly different today. The buildings aren't, and the grass isn't. But instead of a tennis court, we have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 old Porsche cars. Fabulous, isn't it? But imagine, this is the site of the original US Open Tennis Championship. You're welcome. The earliest religion or denominations here in Newport, Rhode Island were Baptists and Quakers. And then Jews that were being persecuted, I think in Portugal or somewhere in Europe, heard of the freedom of worship here in the United States and indeed Newport and Rhode Island. And in 1793, I'm nearly sure it is, this synagogue behind me here was built, Touro Synagogue. It's the oldest synagogue still standing in America. And I read about it and I decided I would take the 8-minute walk that it took me to get here to let you see it. I'll flick the camera around and give you a good look at it. I'll repeat the year, 1763, just in case I got that wrong the first time. And it is the oldest surviving synagogue in the United States of America, and indeed all of North America, if there is a difference. If there is, let me know. Touro Synagogue. Historic. Washington Square in the historic district is this way. So seeing I've come down here so far, let's go for a little walk. So now it's time to wrap up this video of a little snapshot of Newport here in Rhode Island. This is the place where you can come to see mansions, see where JFK got married, visit the historic centre. It's also where the naval headquarters, I see, are as well, the US Navy. I think it's their training college, both for sea, obviously Navy, but also under the sea. So that would be submarines, wouldn't it? Yeah, I guess it would be. It's one of my favourite places actually to come to. This will be my third visit, and I love it every time I come here. I remember the very first time I did come here, I was looking at house prices. Not that I was going to come and buy a house, but still, it's an interesting place to be. Now, you know what to do. If you have liked the video, you hit the thumbs up. Please hit the subscribe, because that'll help the channel, the little fledgling channel. And hit the bell if you want to know when the next video is coming. But for now, that's it. Whatever you're doing, enjoy your day, your evening, your night, wherever you're watching. From me here, Newport, Rhode Island, have a good one.